CEO and CEO and co-founder of Arnetta Technologies. Arnetta Technologies is a Bangalore-based company that works with hybrid seed companies across India in helping them in their software automation process as such. So today, my talk is largely related to what are the various software technologies that the hybrid seed companies in India use, and how Arnetta is helping them with their particular software automation process. So Arnetta's, I'll just give a brief background about Arnetta. Arnetta is a company that was formed in 2013 with a primary objective to helping seed companies, ensuring that they are able to realize more and more better results out of software automation. We realized very early that there is very less adoption of software in the hybrid seed industry across the world, especially in India and South Asia. And we wanted to work and build solutions for them so that they're able to ensure better productivity for the farmer. So the idea is that the faster the seed is developed, faster a better quality seed is developed, the better results the farmer can get out of his own land holding. That is the idea. So Arnetta Technologies, like you are able to see the tagline, we ensure that we enable efficient seed discovery. What does seed discovery mean? Seed discovery is that whenever a whenever a new problem arises in the farming community, that there is a requirement of a better quality hybrid seed, there is a set of processes that take place before commercializing, what we call as commercializing a particular hybrid seed. So we ensure that all of this particular process takes place much faster than what it was done before, so that the farmers are able to get better quality hybrid seeds as soon as possible, so that they are able to get better results out of their own farming practices as such. Yeah, so we are, like I said, we are a technology company co-founded in 2013. We are a group of professionals, software professionals. We have our operations in Bangalore, India, and in Des Moines in Iowa in the USA, which is basically the agriculture heartland in the USA. We are incubated in the IIT in Mandi, Himachal Pradesh, and we are also associated with Indigram Labs Foundation. And we closely collaborate with IIT to develop new solutions so that we are able to get more faster solutions at a more cost-effective price to all the entire agriculture ecosystem per se. So one of the main beliefs that we started out with is that competitive advantage. What we mean by competitive advantage is that when a company in the seed industry develops new quality hybrid seeds, they should have that competitive advantage so that they're able to fight the multinationals in a better way. So we ensure that the uh, the competitive advantage for our customers is in building robust and scalable seed discovery process. Like I said before, the faster you develop a new hybrid seed, according to the challenges of the ecosystem, the climate, and the various factors of the ecosystem. Climate is one, the different uses of the hybrid seed is another. Based on that, if you're able to develop a new better quality hybrid seed at a faster pace, that company will be more successful. So as a group of individuals, we are very passionate to develop easy to use technology solutions that transforms the breeding and production process of hybrid seeds. So just to give you a small perspective, there are basically three processes within the seed company which require software automation. One is the breeding process, like I've been talking about, which is the hybrid seed breeding process. Second is basically the hybrid seed production process. So once the seeds are developed, they need to be produced. So during the production process, there is a lot of technology that is needed to kind of technology solutions that are needed to kind of develop that particular to produce that particular seed at a mass level. So if I have built if I have developed about 10 breeder seeds and I want to multiply that to about almost about 1 million seeds, I will need a certain software technology to help them do that. And And then finally there is a sales process. So sales process is where you go, you book your orders from your distributors, dealers, whom the farmers are placing their orders, and then those kind of processes are also automated as such. So, like what you see, we are a B2B technology company. We largely work when we mean B2B, in business to business technology company. We largely work with seed companies into ensuring that we bring in digital innovation to them. So, just to give you a perspective of the industry, this is just a quick thing if somebody is out of the industry, just to help them understand. Good quality seeds are the most critical ingredient to all agri inputs. So most of the agri inputs, like your seed, like your fertilizers, your pesticides, like your irrigation, etc., all of these agri inputs, the good quality seeds are almost contribute to almost about 50% of the overall need to ensure that the farmer is productive as such. So ensuring that the farmer gets the best quality hybrid seeds at the earliest, like I've been talking, the time factor is very critical. So it is very important the farmer gets the best quality hybrid seeds as soon as possible, so that the farmer gets productivity out of his farm and also ensures food security for the overall population per se. So as of now, what we've seen is seed companies invest up to 15% of their revenue into what we call a seed discovery and improvisation. Improvisation means it could be in production. It could also be a thing about ensuring that their seeds are a better quality seeds as such. So seed discovery is a very complex process as such, which I will explain in the next one or two slides. That ensures that needs lot of investment of money and time per se. So our solutions are largely related to the green, quadrant that you are able to see, which are wherein we basically service the input companies as such. So, what is the entire opportunity that we're talking about? What is the problem that we're trying to address? Is that during the seed discovery and production process, millions of data points are collected and analyzed between the 3 to 6 year cycle of the hybrid seed process. So, whenever a whenever a particular scientist conceptualizes that he wants to develop a new better quality hybrid seed, he goes to his lab, fuses two parents, does multiple tests of parental seeds, and then comes up with a offspring or a new seed that can be better quality. Better quality could be better yield, it could be better disease resistance, or it could also mean more shelf life as such. So whatever are the objectives of the particular seed company that they have started out, they analyze these data points between 3 and 6 year cycle, and this all this data needs to be recorded and statistically analyzed. So, like I said before, seed companies invest and research institutions. Research institution include agriculture colleges like our GKVK in Bangalore, or it could be any particular agriculture university, which is investing lot of time and money into building a better quality seed so that the farmer is able to realize better yield out of his particular uh, farm. So as of now, what happens is that most of them use basically manual or semi-automatic data collection. When we mean manual, it means paper and pencil method, wherein they record particular data on their, what we call as a field book, which is a book per se, which is maintained within the particular seed company, or they use Excel sheets, which is a semi-automatic data collection, which is very time consuming. So it is very important that they use software to automate all of this, because most of the time the manual or the semi automatic data collection is inefficient and inaccurate. So when we spoke to a lot of seed companies in India, everybody were very keen to kind of adopt a particular easy to use software that can help them navigate this particular problem as such. So we have, so these are the two main products that we have. Although I'm talking about the products, the main thing is that the need is very similar. So it could mean any other product, but the objective is to automate the research and the production. So we have two products called the IBRMS, which is the Integrated Breeding and Research Management System. It is very, very similar to any other system available worldwide. So there are three processes within any seed company when they develop a new hybrid seed. One is where they do it in the nursery as in the lab, wherein they develop new parental hybrids, and then they go on to trial this in their particular own farm, and then they use the farmer's field, what we call as a PD or a product development as such. That is what the first line that you are able to see. All of these is something that the software automates. And then what we do is we standardize the particular data. So for example, I can call Bangalore as BLR, or I can call Bangalore as BNG. So the idea is that everywhere the same terminology is taken into consideration, and all the historical data that is there of the past research is collected and put across in the system. This was not available before. The software ensures that all of this is automated and ensured that all of this is available on the cloud. That's the next point. So we ensure that all of it is based on role-based access. So nobody is able to steal any particular data, and it is all deployed on the cloud. So they are able to analyze that. What we also have is that we have something called as a functional planning and project design, wherein at a plot level, we are able to tell them that what cost does it take to actually develop a new hybrid seed. So at a plot level, we are able to give them the costing and the planning, so that the scientist is able to tell the seed company that this is what is the cost that is required to develop a new hybrid seed. Uh, the next solution that is very prominent in the seed industry ecosystem is something called as a seed production system, like I was talking about, wherein you plan your production and you start engaging with what we call as growers. So whenever the seed needs to be multiplied, they hand out sample seeds, or the what we call as a breeder seed, to the growers or the farmers, and the farmers multiply that and give it back to the seed company, and then it is packaged and then sold in the to the distributor or the retailer. So the entire order, stock, and the dispatch management, and analyzing how the crop is doing or how the grower is performing, all of that is something that the system will handle. Right now, all of them, this is done manually, or it is done using Excel sheets. The idea is that using software, they are able to realize that it is much easier to kind of understand the data, implement the data, and also interpret the data. So that is very, very critical. So these are the three main things. So currently the data capture, uh, like for example, what you're seeing in the last point, which is mobile apps for recording field and crop data. This was always missing. Everybody was doing it manually. Right now, there are software specific mobile apps that we also deploy for our clients, wherein they are able to record the particular data as in with respect to the trait or the performance of the particular crop on the field. It could also mean how the seed is actually performing in actual environment per se, the record of that, and that is mapped along with the experiment per se. So the experiment is basically for a particular crop and a particular crop type and a product segment, like what the seed companies define. And then all of this data is again got it is sent back to the system, and the system analyzes based on statistical reporting as to whether that particular new uh, hybrid seed is performing to the attributes of what we have thought of. For example, like I said, it could be with respect to yield, or with respect to disease resistance, or it could be with respect to overall crop performance as such. What we've also developed is something called as genomic prediction or genotyping per se. So based on the historical data, we are able to kind of come out with outcomes. So instead of doing 10,000 experiments in a particular, a land bank, can we do it in 1000 experiments and actually start predicting that using machine learning algorithms and neural networks. That is something that we have implemented. As such, once you start predicting the outcome, you are able to tell whether this particular crop has that, whether this particular seed has that particular, you know, has that particular quality which which you had started with the research. Then, of course, we also have phenotyping. Phenotyping is something that we use unmanned aerial vehicles and UAV, what we call as UAVs or drones as such, and soil sensors to actually analyze the data without human intervention. So this ensures that there is standardization of data. So there is no human error that is there. So again, all of that data is taken and there is a learning algorithm that captures the traits accurately and also ensures that there is an interpretation of the trait and its performance on the field as such. So there is no bias or misinformation, like I said, and all of this is done through machines as such. So yeah, quickly, what we do is basically digitization of field and lab data. So this is something that's very critical to all the seed companies, irrespective of who's doing it. It's very critical that the seed companies start working on digitizing their field and lab data. So what we call as a creating a foundational data layer. So because the seed companies have been doing research for almost 15-20 years, so it is very critical for them to kind of put a foundational, what we call in the technology parlance as a foundational data layer across the R&D process. So to ensure that they are able to take advantage of whatever the earlier research has taken place and the results have come out. This leads to, of course, standardization of data nomenclatures, which is very important for the seed industry as such. Right now, the Indian seed industry does not have standardization of data. Every seed company treats the data differently. So once you start putting a foundational data layer, it ensures that the nomenclatures and the standardization of data happens much more effortlessly as such. Uh, One more big advantage of this entire automation in the seed industry is that traceability of genetic assets. Right now, none of the seed companies are able to trace their genetic assets or put their intellectual property on paper because they do not know where this research was done, how it was done, how the data was recorded, and whether the data is credible. So once you start using a software system, it becomes very easy to trace the genetic asset, and that becomes naturally, needless to say, that becomes an asset to the organization because you're the only company that has, for example, a tomato that is, round in shape and that is able to give you, yield of X number of tons for a particular acre. So to prove that, it's very critical that they start recording that particular information as such, and that recording can happen only on a software system and not on an Excel sheet uh, or a particular manual method. So that way, what happens is that you have access to all the historical information, and you also ensure that you are owner of that particular genetic asset. So what we have seen is that the seed companies that use software system have seen 30% reduction in commercialization timeline. So when I talk about 3 to 6 years in commercializing a new hybrid seed, that has come down by 30% by using a software, which is a big gain for the farmer because he is able to get better quality hybrid seeds almost 30% much before time than he was getting it earlier. And it has a 2% what we call as a positive impact on the EBITDA because the cost of data acquisition or getting the data from the field and getting the data and recording the data properly is much more easier. So there is reduction in the manpower cost, reduction in the error, that human error that is there as such, and that has a positive impact on the earnings of the seed company per se. We are a small team. Just to give so I'm Vishwanath. I basically run the business per se. We have three other technology professionals who also run the company as such. So the there are only about four other companies which do similar products for seed companies worldwide. Agronomics is a Canadian company. Dorian is a French company. Phenome is an Israeli company, and ABS is a Dutch company as such. All of these people build very similar solution, but the objective is very same. The idea is to ensure that the farmer gets better quality hybrid seeds and at a faster period of time as such. As such, all of these come as an enterprise license fee. We charge about $10,000 based on the per year for the seed company, and about 8 lakh rupees per se. And we have seen that the companies almost gain that particular amount almost in the first year itself because of the cost reduction as such. So currently we are operational in India and North America, like I said. Yeah, that's about it. So this is a brief on what are the software automations. Like just to repeat myself, hybrid seed breeding, hybrid seed production, and the sales process are the three main pillars that help the seed companies monetize their particular opportunity in the industry and ensure that the farmer gets better quality hybrid seeds faster and more efficiently and at a much more cheaper price. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vishwanath, for the detailed presentation. You can on your video if you are comfortable with it.
Yeah, sure. One second.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can see you. Thank you. So the first question is, how does software automation enhance the integration of various process within hybrid seed production?
Basically two things. One is that there is once the breeder seed or the breeding process is completed, the breeder seed is handed over to the grower, like I mentioned. So the grower is usually the farmer. Currently, what is happening is that currently what happens is that there is no specific uh, uh, you know uh, way to record that particular grower's data. So the grower's data with respect to the grower himself, making online or UPI payments as such. And second is that the grower records particular trait related data. So that also is done by the grower himself, who is the farmer per se. So all of that is done in a more unorganized way. What the software ensures that it does is that he gets a particular mobile app, the grower, and he's able to record as to, for example, let's say it's tomato. He says that from 30 days to flowering, this was the data. From 50 days to flowering, this was the data. And from 70 days to flowering, this was the data. So all of the data with respect to the particular crop's progress is recorded on the app, and it is real time. And the the breeder and the management of the seed company is able to see that almost immediately. That is the difference that has happened in the production process.
Okay. And what efficiency improvements have you observed since implementing software automation in your operations?
Like I mentioned, we've seen about 30% reduction in what we call as time to market. So time to market means from the time the sales team of the seed company comes with a problem statement. I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say I am in Pune and I want to develop a new tomato hybrid, which is very pulpy and which is very pulpy and which gives me a lot of yield because it is needed for the ketchup industry in Pune. So that problem statement is something that the sales team has come to the research team and given. The research team then works on what are the various parental lines that they have, and based on the parental lines that they decide whether this particular a new offspring by fusing two parents can give this particular yield. And then of course they test it in the lab, and then in the field, and then the farmer's field. This usually takes between 3 and 5 years because of data collection, data analysis, and data interpretation. All of this is reduced by 30%. That is the biggest impact. So by the time the actual seed goes to the customer, it could be the farmer, or it could be a ketchup company, or whoever it is. By the time they actually plant the seed and realize the results, they can do it 30% faster.
Okay. And how does automated software help in managing large volumes of data generated during hybrid seed development?
So all of this data is hosted on the cloud. So we roughly import almost about 15 years of historical data. So the 15 years of historical data, what the system does is that it keeps analyzing that particular data at the back end. Although the current year data is taken into consideration at that point in time, but the historical data is always kept in the background, and the system keeps analyzing using various machine learning algorithms, and it keeps prompting the particular seed breeder, saying that, you know what, why are you doing this experiment again? I already have data which is 5 years old, where there was to go back to the same example that I took, where there is a pulpy variety of tomato, which is suitable for a seed company, which you have already developed about 5 7 years ago, and that particular data keeps prompting out. So all of this data is analyzed at the backend uh, uh, in an AWS server, and this particular prompt keeps coming to the particular breeder or the head of the research department.
Okay. And what are the key data analytics tools or features your software includes to facilitate decision making?
So we largely use two levels of data. In the breeding related stuff, it is largely related to statistical reports. We use stability analysis, we use regression graphs, and we also use pooled analysis and various kinds of reports based on the design of the farm. So we have three designs that we have. One is what we call as RCBD, which is the random block design. Second is that we have something called as an augmented design. Third is we have something called as a nested design. So based on the design of the particular field, we give different reports, but all of these are statistically analyzed based on regression, stability, and we pool particular amount, different kinds of data based on the need of that is a customizable report. So that is something that the company chooses what kind of data, what kind of pooled analysis that they want, and they can take it. On the production side, we do two things. Mainly, we do grower performance reports, wherein we analyze whether a grower is or the farmer is able to produce X number of seeds in the shortest period of time, and how much resources has he used. Second is that how much of cost is he incurring in producing that particular amount of seeds. So the cost and the grower performance is taken into consideration. Third most important parameter that we use on the production side is that what are the various kind of farm practices that he used. So how much of pesticide did he spray, or how much of nutrients did he use, or all of that is taken and recorded into that particular data, so that that particular best practice can also be given to the final end customer, whoever is buying this.
And how does software automation contribute to maintaining consistent quality standards in seed production?
Okay. So software doesn't really contribute to maintaining quality in seed production. It just ensures that they're able to produce better quality hybrid seeds. So when we mean better quality hybrid seeds, what we mean is that if there is a correction needed in the particular research thinking or breeding philosophy, it is implemented or corrected immediately than waiting for the entire cycle to complete. So for example, to give you an example, let's say there is a particular variety that I have planted and I'm not getting enough results out of it. the software will be able to prompt you much earlier, much faster than a manual process, saying that you are going wrong over here. You should have, used pedigree number 3 and 4 and not 1 and 2 to get a better result. So that prompting is done. So wherein there is a prompt for the seed quality betterment. But the final seed quality is something that we don't interfere in, because the quality certification and the quality standards, whatever they have set for, is handled outside of the system.
Okay. And what mechanisms does your software employ to ensure compliance with the regularity requirements?
So all of our both the softwares, basically the breeding, especially the breeding management software, has captures what we call as a dust rate. Dust rate is basically used uh, to provide a report to the National Seed Corporation (NSC) into ensuring before the seed gets commercialized, they have to give the various dust properties and the various experiments conducted on dust rates to the regulator before actually commercializing a particular hybrid. In fact, that's a very nice point that you brought up. One of the biggest problems that we have seen in the last 4 or 5 years is that most of this data is kept in different places, and the breeder or the head of breeding or head of research is not able to get the data at the time that he wants to submit it to the regulator. So the software ensures that all of the traits that are relevant to the regulator, which is the dust traits, are recorded in one particular place, are differentiated and are separated out, and a separate dust report is given out. And that dust report, along with their particular application to the regulator, can help them get the regulatory approval much faster.
Okay. Mm, how does your software support field operations such as planting, monitoring, harvesting in hybrid seed production?
Yeah, like I said, we have a mobile app. We have both an Android and Apple iOS mobile app that we usually recommend tablets, tabs that can be used on the field, which are more field grade tabs per se. All of this can be. So we have two kind of apps. One is for the breeder and one is for the field assistant. So the field assistant is not able to, it will not be able to see confidential data like the pedigree related data, etc., etc. And the breeder can see all the particular data. So whenever a particular experiment in a breeding life cycle is designed, that particular experiment is assigned to a particular field assistant who is relevant, which is assigned by the breeder, and he will download that particular experiment, enter the particular values on his Android device or the iOS device, and immediately, as soon as the network, it is an offline app. That's the best part of the application. He doesn't need any network for that, because sometimes in the field you don't have network, so they can record it offline. And once they have recorded it, once they come back to the network area, they'll be able to synchronize that particular data and send that data to the breeder. So all of this is done through Android or iOS mobile apps.
And what role does automation play in real-time data collection and monitoring of field conditions?
So okay, in the seed industry, a real-time scenario doesn't really exist, because most of the data is analyzed a little later as such. So we have not faced a particular challenge with respect to real-time analysis of real-time data collection or analysis. So most of the time, what happens is that once the data is submitted from the field, it takes almost about 1 week to 10 days for the breeder to actually analyze and come up with the result of the data. So the need for a real-time collection or real-time analysis is not really a very big problem in the seed company as of now, at least.
Right. Okay. Yeah. How does automated software facilitate better supply chain management in the context of hybrid seed distribution?
Yeah, like I said, I think that's one of the biggest benefits of the product, biggest benefits of software automation for the seed industry, because you are ensuring that what happens is that naturally, with the advent of social media and with the lot of penetration of all of this, new age media, uh, the farmer is very, very well informed as to what variety he wants and what kind of yield that he's expecting out of his farm. One thing that the software automation ensures is that it's able to regulate the regulate probably is a very strong word, but to ensure that the supply chain is very well fed. That's what we call. When we mean very well fed, as in we are ensuring that whenever a farmer demands a new product, that the product saying that okay, there is a new pest that has come up, and do you have that pest resistant particular seed? The seed company is able to supply that particular new quality hybrid seed at a much faster pace than it was able to do before. So that is something that software helps them to do, and it is in our clients it has been proven as well. So whenever the client, whenever the client of the client, who is the farmer, demands a new particular hybrid seed and wants a particular quality in that particular hybrid seed, the seed company is able to develop the seed faster and supply to the particular farmer much faster. That way, the distributor is happy, and of course, the end consumer, who is the farmer, is also very happy because he is able to cater to the needs of people like you and me who are wanting a particular kind of vegetable or fruit or whatever it could be. So yes.
And what features does your software offer to optimize inventory management and logistics?
So currently we don't deal with logistics as such, but inventory management, we have a small module within our software which handles seed inventory, wherein automatically using QR codes. So we have integrated it with QR codes. So all the QR codes that are given on the breeder seeds and on the production ready seeds are captured by the particular system, and we know what quantity has been shipped over. We don't track the logistics, but we know what is the inventory that is there with the company and what is available on the field as such.
Right. Okay. And in what ways does software automation support R&D efforts for developing new hybrid seed varieties?
Yeah, like again, one of the main things is that it helps crop breeders collect data faster in a more efficient way. It helps them analyze that particular data using statistical tools, which is part of the software. And third most important thing is it helps them interpret that particular data through dashboards. And the dashboard helps them understand whether that particular crop in that particular experiment and in that particular region has given them the result that they want. So data collection, data analysis, and data interpretation, these are the three main features that the software helps the breeders.
Okay. And how does automation help in tracking and analyzing trial data for new seed varieties?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, so all of that. The software is designed at a crop level. Probably another time I can show you a demo as well. It is at a crop level. The Each crop can have multiple experiments and can record multiple traits. So as soon as you sign up as a breeder, if you are assigned to a particular crop, let's say for example rice, so all the traits related to rice are listed. I can choose all the traits and create a new experiment. Once I create an experiment, I can choose to which are the locations where I want to do this experiment is what I then create then design. So I design a particular experiment with the traits, with the location, and along with the particular crop traits and the this one and the location. And then finally I choose my design of the field. Like I said, there are a random block design, there is augmented design, and the nested design that is supported by the system. Once I choose the design, it formulates the replications for me and then generates a particular field book. This field book is given out. Is The breeder can then choose to push this field book through a mobile app to the particular field assistant on the field. Once he plants, the field assistant records the particular data with respect to the crop performance and gives back the particular data to the breeder. And once the breeder receives this particular data, he analyzes that using the statistical tools which is there in the system and interprets them, and then gives a particular report to the management saying that, you know what, this is the performance of the particular experiment that has taken place. So this entire cycle is something that is covered in the product.
Okay. And what considerations were taken into account to ensure user-friendly interfaces for different stakeholders using your software?
So our when we started out, our biggest client was Rallis, which is the seed division of Rallis, which is a Tata Group company. We spent almost about 2 to 3 years working with them to ensure as to what are the best practices that are needed to kind of put into place to build such a system. So we spent roughly almost between 2014 to 2017 working with one or two clients in ensuring that all of the functionalities are user friendly and are with the expectations of this one. So the change management and the user expectations was taken into consideration only after almost about 3 years of research and along with the users as such.
Okay. And how accessible is the software for remote monitoring and management of seed production facilities?
So, like I said, all of the remote monitoring is done through mobile apps, which are camera enabled. So, whenever you, especially for seed production, the photographs are very, very important. What we have ensured is that the photos and the videos can be captured, and the photos and the videos can be tagged to a particular trait, and those traits are recorded, and that particular proof of that particular trait is also recorded, and all of that is uh, put together or summarized together for the report to the production head as such. So we have ensured that most of the all the features that the production remote monitoring has will be taken care of through the mobile app.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Now, regarding the security, what measures are in place to ensure the security of sensitive data stored and processed by your automation software?
So we leave the deployment of the solution completely to the client. We do not interfere with that. So some of our clients like to have their own servers within their own environment to install. Some people use cloud servers. We do not store any data, or we do not have any access to any particular data. So they can choose either a cloud server, which is a private cloud server, which is paid for by them and which is controlled by them, or they can choose an on-premise, what we call as an on-premise server, which is there in their office. As such, all the system needs is it's a web-based application. All it needs is a stable internet connection and a browser. That's all it needs.
Okay. That seems to be very easy to operate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm. How does your software comply with the data privacy regulations relevant to the seed industry?
That's what, like I said, we do not interfere with the installation of the software at all. So we don't get into that particular aspect at all. So we handle all we control is the yearly access to that, wherein we have a small key where we control the access. Other than that, the entire installation, of course, which is done by us, but at the same time, it is done on the facility provided by the company. So we do not, how do I put it? We don't take any responsibility for data leaks or data privacy breaches or anything like that. So it is completely handled by the IT department of the company.
Okay. And how scalable is your automation software in adapting to the growing needs of a hybrid seat company?
So we've built the software in a very, very simple fashion. It is a very easy to use web-based system. So for us to add, so we get a lot of requests from clients who want additional reports and all of that. All of that can be integrated very, very easily with very, very minimal effort. As such, we've done it for clients earlier as well. And so we've seen that this process as such of the seed breeding per se is fairly very standardized across the world. So all only change that is required is more in terms of new reports or new kind of dashboard views. I want to look at the data in this particular way. I want these kind of graphs. I want these kind of data representation, etc., which can be easily handled by the system. It hardly takes almost nothing more than 1 week or 10 days of effort.
Okay. And what flexibility does the software offer in terms of customization to specific operational requirements?
Like I said, it's very similar to your last question. So we can customize the software however we want to, based on the operational process of the seed company. There's no restriction.
Okay. And what future developments or upgrades do you foresee in software automation for hybrid seat companies?
So one of the biggest developments that we've seen especially in the South Asian scenario is what I showed you in my presentation, what we call as a crop performance prediction. Basically, the research costs are growing very high. So the seed companies are very, very keen to kind of start using their historical data, using machine learning and artificial intelligence, to kind of start predicting a particular outcome of the out of the experiment or of the research project. So that is something that we see as a great game changer in the time to come. So basically, because that reduces the cost for the seed company with respect to the research, and and also ensuring that what I mentioned earlier as the time to market or as the time to commercialization will be reduced drastically. So this is something that we're seeing. Second thing that as a trend that we're seeing in our particular area that we operate is using of technology to collect data. So it could be UAVs, drones, soil sensors. It could be micro irrigation trackers and all of that to ensure that all of this data is captured without human intervention. These are the two large uh, areas. The third one is has been in the discussion since a long time, which is more about marker-assisted breeding, or using genotyping. What I said. Genomic markers and marker-assisted breeding. But there are since the biotech cost is fairly very high, there are very few seed companies who can adopt or who can pay for it. But that is also a trend that is very prevalent in the uh, medium to large scale seed companies, wherein they're using marker assisted breeding or various biotech markers to kind of get to the result that they wanted much faster.
So I think now we have last questions. Last question. How do
Sure.
you plan to incorporate emerging technologies, example AI, IoT, into your automation solutions?
Oh, we've already done that. So we've already done that.
Mm,
AI. AI is something that we use more on the crop performance prediction per se. But we have not yet had a use case. We've already built that capability, but we do not have a client for it. Uh, on the IoT side, we have already implemented the phenotyping side. So we have capabilities in UAV, soil sensors. These are the two areas largely. So the soil testing and the trait capturing using UAVs is something that we are already doing. So this the system is already scaled up to handle that particular data. So once the data is captured by the particular device, particular IoT device, it is relayed back to the software, and the same analysis takes place again. So only difference is that earlier the field assistant was capturing that particular data. Now the particular device or the IoT device is capturing that particular data. So currently our system is capable of handling two sets of data. One is largely aerial based, wherein the basically the size of the fruit, length of the leaf, etc., whichever are the visible parts of the crop per se, and then the soil side. So these are the two areas that we have worked on.
Okay, Mr. Vishwanath. So one last question. Please let us know a little about your career background and what made you to take an interest in agriculture field.
Okay.
Any particular
So
incident?
no, actually, it was so all of us are from ex-Infosys per se. So we all sat together in the cafeteria and we decided that where can we actually make an impact in developing a new software solution. And in 2013, agri-tech was still developing. It was not still a great focus area. And we said that why don't we try agriculture? And we started approaching various agriculture companies, for example fertilizer companies, seed companies, etc. And then we realized that this particular crop breeding, seed breeding and production is a big issue, and there is no Indian company which develops a particular software automation solution for them. And this is way back in 2013, and that is when we decided that we should start looking at an opportunity to develop high quality software solutions for seed companies. Although the market was small in India, we looked at the markets across the world and said that okay, why can't we make in India and actually get that product across in the US or in Europe. And that was the logic, or that was the thought process in which we built or identified this particular segment.
Okay, but you did not let us know a little about your
Yeah, so
interest in agriculture. How you got interested?
So, okay. So, all four of us that you saw, we've always been into agriculture. We have our own small farms
Okay.
where we, do some hobby farming wherein we put some vegetables for our home and all of that as such. And, agriculture was something that was always dear to us essentially because that is where we see, a lot of new entrepreneurs shaping up. That's what we saw in 2013. Entrepreneurs, when I mean even a farmer is an entrepreneur, according to me. So they're able to kind of take that risk, put in the capital, and actually, develop a product. Product is the fruit or flower or seed or a fruit or flower or a vegetable or whatever it could be. But we actually related to it, and we wanted to do something which is more core to the country as such as in India. So that's where the thought process came.
Right. Very nice. So, okay, Mr. Vishwanath. So, we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for answering all the questions. And the topic was very interesting. Hope you'll have a better future now. And
Great.
so we'll end this meeting now.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Take care. Thank you so
You're
much.
most welcome. Thank you.